Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about The Last Showgirl. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. So, Pamela Anderson. Let's talk about her. So, Pamela Anderson. So, she was big in the 90s. You know, she was in Baywatch, which was one of the big 90s shows. And she's also known for being part of Playboy. And apparently, from what I'm reading on her Wikipedia article, she apparently holds the record for the most Playboy covers by any individual. So, I guess that's a feather to her cap. And she was a big old sex symbol back then. She was definitely probably one of the main women, or really one of the main people back then, where most people kind of just pointed to her and be like, hot. Because that's basically what happens when you're a sex symbol. So yeah, she was huge in the 90s. She had a real tumble afterwards. And, she became, I guess one could argue, irrelevant after the 90s. Although she was in Borat, which had a pretty wild plot where Borat tried to kidnap her, literally tried to abduct her by putting her in a bag. It's a real wild scene. But yeah, besides that, like, she kind of like faded away. But recently, in the past few years, that's changed. And it's resulted in this flick right here, The Last Showgirl, where she's gotten quite a bit of awards attention because of it. Like, all the praise for the movie is all about her. Like, she carries the movie. This is like, some say, like, her greatest performance of all time. So, yeah, pretty much anyone who's going to see this movie is seeing it for Pamela Anderson. So I will label her as a pro. So that's pro number one. Pro number two, reviews are pretty good. It's a 79% critic score, 72% audience score, which isn't great. I'm not super sure why that is, but it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, if it was like a 50% or something like that, then I'd have to, investigate it a little bit. But yeah, critic score is fine. Audience score is like more middling, but not like terrible. Well, I guess it depends on what movie it is. Like, if this was for like a big old mainstream movie, then it would be a problem. But this isn't that. So yeah, I guess it's just fine enough. And there's no cinema score because it's not in that many theaters. So yeah, but then again, Long Legs had like a 60% audience score, and that made a lot of money. So sometimes it doesn't matter that much. So yeah. What else? I think that's kind of it with pros. Okay, cons. When it comes to like awards movies, and this is very much an awards movie, there's a lot out there. Competition is fierce right now. And I feel like this movie may end up being lost in the shuffle because this movie, though, the story, Pamela Anderson, a big old 90 star making a comeback in the 2020s. We're seeing the same thing with Demi Moore. Same story where she was big in the 90s, big old sex symbol back then, and she fell off hard. And then the 2020s, she came back and people are talking about her again, all because of The Substance. And with The Substance, she actually won the Golden Globe for that movie, which I say her chances of winning an Oscar have drastically gone up as a result. So you kind of have like two similar stories going on at the same time. And The Substance, well, I haven't seen Last Showgirl, so I can't comment on its quality. But The Substance, that was a incredible experience, an insane experience. And it's arguably the far more interesting movie because the substance is such a fucking crazy ass idea that, you know, obviously is going to get more, attention compared to this. But yeah, just award season in general is very competitive. It's highly competitive this year. So I'm going to label that as a con. Another con, this is from Roadside Attractions. They've had a few hits here and there, but most of their movies have not done that well. I mean, last year, like, look at this. I mean, most of these movies, like, I covered, and they only lasted, like, a week max. So, yeah. Yeah, not great. Not great at all. It's obviously they're not like a big studio or anything, but it's still pretty, anemic seeing these numbers. So yeah, I say roadside attractions, track record, that's a con. And another con, LA wildfires, winter weather across other parts of the country. Neither of those are good for box office, obviously. So that's a con. And I think that's really it. Yeah. Yeah. So opening weekend, I don't know. I mean, it could hit $1 million, but I don't want to be that optimistic. So I'm gonna say 500K to a million, and its total. I mean, its legs should be good because it has awards attention surrounding it, but I don't know. I don't know. Less than 5 million. I'm just gonna go with that. Probably like less than 3, but less than 5 million total, and that's it. Okay, so we're done for the weekend. Now next week we got potentially our first big ish hit of 2025 in the form of Wolfman. That out of all the January movies, that probably has the most heat surrounding it. So that might help it out. Then there's One of Them Days, and then September 5th, that's going to be a bomb, just like Better Man. So Paramount's going to have two flops in a row. So that's rough. But yeah, that'll be next week. So stay tuned. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? Got playlists on the homepage. All previous prediction videos I've made. Well, I haven't made really any this year, but if you want to watch any of my 2024 prediction videos, you can go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. My December recap, I'll be doing that technically later today. My 2024 two-parter, winners and losers, that'll be probably in a week or two. And then my January recap, that'll be hopefully before Valentine's Day. Probably within like within the second week of February. So stay tuned for all those. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I never talked about Last Showgirl, so yeah. Let me just. Yeah, no, never talked about it. But if you want to watch any of my past recap video, not the recap, cancel episodes, all 250 of them, you want to binge watch them all, go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.